Hello everybody, Zen here bringing you more patch 2.0 content on the PTS. I apologize for my voice, I'm getting over being sick, so it may be a little raspy here and there. I'm sorry for that. But we are here in Hard Mode Scum and Villainy doing the Operations Chief. You shouldn't take any of this as a guide because the fight may change before it's actually released, and we're probably not doing this the most efficient way. However, you're going to be able to see the fight anyways this way, so it's good to see. The second thing is that we're in here with our guild group, so keep that in mind. We're a coordinated group of people. This isn't a random pug. So with this, you have to split your group, right? There's obviously 8 people in an 8-man raid, so you have to split it up into 4 groups. So you pair people together in groups of 2. Now, there are these guys throughout the entire fight that are lined up, from north to south. There's 4 groups of them. And you could skip over all the droids and stuff in the actual pathways that you have to take to get them, except for one. We'll show you where he's at. But for the most part, you have to actually fight these guys. So the way the way that we split the group up, rather, is we put a tank and a DPS. We put our shadow or our assassin, it's the same thing, and our marauder down on the southern guy, or southern group, and it's pretty much a very similar group to this one, right? And then we put me, which is a tank, and our other healer with me, fighting these 2 guys. We tried it with a DPS and a healer on these 2 guys, and they just got obliterated. It's just these guys do so much damage to lightly armored people if they're not a tank. So you kind of gotta watch out how you break the groups on these southern 4 guys. Now, what we're doing here is we're trying to avoid the stairs on the right-hand side because the droid goes up and down. We pulled him several times while figuring this out just on accident. So it's best to kind of stand where we are. Except for the guy that we've already killed, this guy doesn't knock back. So the other guy does, so make sure you kill him first. So the other 2 groups are to the north. We split them up with the next one that we'll run by. Is in a room. It has a healer that does healing probes and stuff. You have to kill that one first. You have to interrupt the heck out of it. We put 2 DPS there. So there's 2 DPS just burned down that healer real quick. It was our marauder, our other marauder, and our inquisitor. So it was a sorcerer and a marauder. They were able to take him down really quickly. This is the only droid that you actually have to watch out for and pull. It's just because it's really difficult to get around them. Sometimes you can, most of the time you can't, so it's best just to pull them away, burn them down, and then move on. Now, if your first group down at the bottom killed their guys quick enough, then they'll be able to assist you killing this droid. And in fact, you should probably wait for them to do so. They should be coming up right behind you as you're killing your guys, so then you could just pull this and go. You don't have to wait for them at all. That's ideally the way you would want it, which is what you saw with what we were able to do there. Now, the very last group, which is the most northern group, we put a healer and a DPS on. It's difficult because they kind of have to be pulled away from each other, and they have to be interrupted and stuff, so just be very careful. That's probably one of the harder groups to take down. If you could take that one down, then the rest of them are pretty easy. So you have this droid here. We're waiting on 2 of our DPS. See, they just finished off their guy, right? So we're waiting on them to follow us up to the north, to the boss, and you just basically got to wait until the guy's about right there. Then you could take off, go straight up to the north, and then you take a left right here as the path turns, so that way you can avoid that droid. And then what you end up doing here is you run by the other 2 people who are fighting their group, if they haven't finished it yet, that is. Ours obviously has. They're already up at the top waiting for us at the door. So we're all just moving along. All of the guys are dead, so that means the door is finally open. And you get everybody together and then you go in. This guy is actually fairly similar to what he is on story mode. There's only one major thing different, which I will show you as we go in. But the hardest part of this fight in general is that spot where you have to split up, because it's more of a I guess a measure of individual skill than it is of a group's coordination. But it does also measure your coordination, but the main problem there is if you have one guy who just can't get down, you know, the two guys, it's not going to happen. You got to replace them, or you got to move them somewhere that maybe you might be more effective. And for your group, maybe that's what you have to do. You have to move your group around and kind of figure out what's most effective for you, because that's what we had to do. For the most part, there was only a couple changes we actually had to do, which was moving me and a DPS on the healer guy, which is the third group, to me and a healer on the second group that I was fighting in this video. So for this guy, the turrets are going to spawn the same time. There could be a tank swap. We actually weren't able to figure it out. This is our first time seeing them, so we were trying to like call out abilities as we were seeing them. We were just killing the droids as we or as quick as we could. Probably have your ranged DPS focus on them if like there's one in a corner like that. Just have your melee burn this guy down, because he can enrage pretty quickly. Now the thing that's gonna pop up here is he does a super strong ability. So he'll like knock me back, and then he'll do like this almost like a headshot thing. I don't remember the name of it. It might be aim shot. And it's gonna do just a ton of damage to me, and it's going to kill me here because it does about half my HP and damage. So if your tank is tanking, you want to keep him slightly above half for most of the time, just to be safe there. You can, I guess you could tank swap it, but I don't know what good that would do. So like I said, we didn't really find a tank swap to do. And for the most part, you just got to get your tank capped out. Now that was doing just over half of my health and damage with this gear on, and I have about, I think it was like 34,000 HP. So imagine if you had, I don't know, 30,000 HP. You know, it's going to do significantly more in comparison. It's probably do about 75% of your HP. So you're going to want to be very careful coming in here for the first time on hard mode. Now I died again there because once again I'm pretty sure I was low on HP, which is not, you know, the fault of anybody. It's just that the guy does a lot of damage. So at this point we just focus him down. Ads will come out. We're just like, screw the ads, just kill the boss, because it's the really the only thing that we have left to do here. And once you do that, I mean, you pretty much get it down. It's one of those fights you get it down once and you'll never have to worry about it again. You can go in and just one-shot it every week after that. You learn the dance, you learn where to put your guys, you learn how to coordinate yourselves, and then once you do that, it's a fairly easy fight after that. The loot is pretty standard though, so nothing too special there. You shouldn't expect anything too special, however. So on that note, we shall see you guys next time.